What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Lean and Mean Academy. We are live again today with this little series that I've been trying to put out. I've been trying to be pretty diligent with it, and I'm going to let some guys fill in because we are live. This is streaming, so I want to get everybody the information that they're wanting to hear. I got a very special guest on the line with me today, a young guy who's crushing it out in the St. Louis, Missouri area. Um, it's to me, it's an honor to be able to watch these guys plug in and then go turn this education into real spendable dollars and not a little bit of dollars, like a good stack of change. These guys are going out there and changing their zip codes, changing, their life, learning how to run a business and be profitable. And that's what this is at the end of the day. We're trying to show you guys how to do that and get the education and run with it and go crush it. So without further ado, I want to introduce my boy, Dallas Roach from Aqua Rents out in St. Louis, Missouri. What's up, brother?
What's up, Mr. Aaron? How we doing?
Man, I'm good, dude. Just out here, super pumping and batch busting, dude. Just trying to get it in, if you know what I mean. Got some guys in the chat. We got Dewey, Hoff Power, Bayside, Clean. If you're in the chat, go ahead and leave a comment. He said, "Get that boy." Yeah, Dewey's here, bro. Dewey's been here early, bro. He's Hammer. Dew Hammer. That's right. Inner circle, Dewey Wooten in the house. We got some cats in here, some hardworking guys. A lot of the dudes in the chat, Dallas. Most of these guys come on and they are crushing it too. Hoffpower's destroying it. Bayside, I know. Tim, what's up? Peak to Palms, pressure washing, Cape Coral, Florida. Cape Corral, however you want to say it. So Dallas, welcome to the live, man. I want to go into your story. I want to start this off so guys can kind of get to know you. Tell me a little bit about how pressure washing became even an option for you. Like, where did you come from and where did you see this opportunity? That's a different story for a lot of people. I'm always interested in the inception part of this.
Yeah, so I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and I have a pretty close 50-50 partner. Me and Patrick Wigginton run Aqua Rents together, and we actually came up with Aqua Rents when we actually lived in Florida. Was actually in Cape Coral, with one of those commenters are from. We actually lived in Cape Coral for about 3 years, and down there we were working, and we were just wanting to come up with a side hustle, and we never actually took action down in Florida, but once we moved back to St. Louis, we both went back to our jobs. Pat was a union roofer and I was in sales. I've been in sales for about 10 years. So I kind of just, I was making really good money in the sales industry, but, I didn't like selling for someone else. I made 100% commission. So if I didn't sell, I didn't eat, which was, very important. At the end of the day, I wanted to be selling for myself so I could be reaping all the benefits. So me and Pat, we met up, and again, we've been friends since high school. So long friendship here. We met up, we had lunch, and we sat down. And, we were just thinking of businesses that we can start. We've always been that hustler mindset and trying to figure out a way to make it, and not have to do a 9 to 5 forever. So we sat down, and he brought up power washing again after we talked about it down in Florida, and we took the steps. We got a logo made. And then we just started watching videos. We were watching all the Core Fours videos from the beginning. It literally paved the path for us and allowed us to get to where we were at in the beginning, for sure.
Bro, that's cool. So y'all had the idea down there. It was kind of stewing, and you brought it back to St. Louis, which is a great market. I know it gets chilly over there, but y'all have seasons, and a lot of concrete to clean in St. Louis for sure.
Yeah.
So how was it getting started? Like, you brought the idea back. What's the first thing you guys did that you implemented this into, the profits that you're getting?
Yeah. So again, I started door-to-door sales. So I kind of took what I learned from that and just implemented it into our business. So we printed out like a flyer sheet where we could put the customer's information at the top, and then it had a list of our services. And we just set out and we went door to door, and we just started with my neighborhood. and we ended up getting 3 leads out of my neighborhood. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I know from door knocking, if I'm getting leads like this, I can sustain business for sure. So we went ahead and got those 3 leads, and we ended up closing 2 of them, and they were neighbors. So we did both of their houses, and that's when we were still using the big pole, the power washing pole. People call it a noodle. We were trying to wash. We didn't even really know about downstreaming, honestly, and so we were just learning. And we're more of a take action and figure it out later type of people. So once we saw we got the work, that's when we started diving into like the education behind it.
Nice. So that door-to-door thing really came in strong for you. I know a lot of guys are scared of knocking. It's just scared of rejection. Can you give any, tips for guys? Because dude, if you have the balls to go door to door, you can really do anything. You know what I mean? Like I call it fearless, right? Like you can just knock on somebody's door, meet them off the street, which somebody's knocking on your door, you're like, oh crap, who is this? Is it the cops? Is
Yep.
it, okay, it's a guy who wants to sell me AT&T or something like that. So
Yeah.
how do you molded that into pressure washing? Give some advice to the guys who may want to do the door knocking venture. Like, how do they even do
Yeah.
that?
So with door knocking, I mean, number one, it's limited belief. Get out of your own head. Don't think that you're annoying people. You might get those doors slammed in your face a few times, but you're going to find the people that actually need your service. So you're out there, hunting for the people that need your service. So at the end of the day, just, make sure we execute. So we got maps up actually over here. We plan it out. So we don't just like hit one street, we'll hit a whole neighborhood and do it, accordingly. But yeah, limited belief. I feel like once you get that out of your head that you're annoying people or you're bothering them, you actually find out that a lot of people, they're kind of bored in their house anyway. So they're actually happy to talk to someone sometimes. So once you find that, like, the nice old ladies or anything
Oh
like
yeah.
that, they love talking to you. So it's pretty easy after that.
Yeah, she won't even let you leave. You're like, all
Right.
right, now we got to keep walking. I
Yep. Yep.
appreciate you.
"Want some cocoa? Come on in."
We're like, I'll hit you back up about them cookies later now, you
Yep.
know? That's really cool, dude. So y'all started implementing, and you're saying, I love how you talked about you're all about execution. I think the analysis by paralysis thing, paralysis by analysis thing is what gets a lot of guys early. They're overthinking. There's a lot of moving parts. Maybe they never started a business. How did you cut through that of like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to get LLC. I got to get equipment. I got to get that. How do you cut through that as a young entrepreneur and get straight to the point, straight to the main mover that's going to make you cash?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I like to call it the laundry list of things to do when you start a business, and you just have a laundry list, and it definitely can scare people away because, when you start looking at everything that goes into starting a business, there's a lot that goes into it. But once you just take it step by step and brick by brick, eventually you'll have a house, and, just take it one step at a time. And, after a few months, you got your flyers, you got your logo, LLC's approved, working on insurance. After that, you're good to go.
So you mean you don't have to be successful like tomorrow?
No.
I think that's like you're saying, the overthinking of, man, I have to have all of this done before I can make a move is really debilitating for people. One thing that I noticed about you as far as a door-to-door guy, which is almost a superpower, frankly, is because all you do is implement. Like door to door, like you already know nothing happens if I don't knock. Like no money will be made today if I don't knock on doors. And
Yep.
that's the antithesis of an employee mentality. An employee mentality, he's like, well, I can clock in and probably go sit on my phone and take a dump for a little while. And then I could go smoke a cigarette out back till I might get into trouble with middle management. Then I go kind of do my job, you
Right.
know. Whereas you're complete entrepreneur, you're saying, if we don't knock, this business fails. I don't eat tonight. And that's just from the outside looking in. I think that's a big critical piece of your success and implementation and the money you've made so quickly is that you get straight to the point. It's like,
Yep.
look, nothing matters if we don't clean something. So we have to go sell a job. We have to go clean something. Am I right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I actually have a funny story about that. So once we got, I saw your last video was about the Google Guaranteed. So once we got Google Guaranteed, we started, crushing leads. They were coming in hot. We were catching, 3 to 4 phone calls a day because of it. So we were like, oh man, this is nice. And we were closing the job. So we're like, oh, we don't really have to knock as much right now. Well, all of a sudden, my local service ads got shut off because we didn't upload our business certificate when we were signing up. So that just got shut off. And that was like our main form of marketing at the time. And we were putting all of our eggs in one basket. And that I'm kind of glad it happened when it did because we were able to learn from it and, didn't take too big of a hit. But now we definitely implement knocking every week. And we are actively building a canvassing department for our company so that, we can hire, younger kids and be able to bring them up in a positive environment. There's a lot that goes into being a business owner. It's not just the 9 to 5. There's 16 18-hour days and comes with a lot of life changes. Me and Pat both quit drinking. We quit, he was smoking cigarettes, we were smoking weed, all that stuff. We quit all of that and just kind of locked in. And once we locked in and had the laser focus, you could just see the growth was unimaginable.
Bro, that's so cool. So you're building out I love it. You're going the route. You're like, I know how the mechanisms of door-to-door sales work. I can build a team to do this and pay them, a commission, right? And like uh, that's cool. So you're saying the Google guarantee got shut off. I've had a GMB get vaporized one time and it was bad. Okay. It's like a lot of leads get shut off, man. That'll pucker you up there.
Yeah.
Um, so y'all implemented, you switched back to door to door, getting some other of these foundations done, get your forms over to Google, right? Making it right, figuring out how to get verified again to where that doesn't happen. What does a guy do? How does a guy like you go from all of these moving pieces, implementing to making 6 figures his first year like you did? Like, what level of work did that take? Was it
Yeah.
50? Was it 40 hours a week? Was it 70 hours a week? Like, what is the workload here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to dial in exactly the hours per week because every week's different, and every week brings new challenges. Same with the days, but definitely over 40, 50 hours weekly, for sure. Probably closer to the 60, 70, especially with all the back end stuff as well. In the beginning, me and Pat, we were booking 4 or 5 jobs on schedule in one day, just because we simply didn't understand that with the equipment we had, we weren't able to complete 4 or 5 jobs a day. But we're booking them. They're like, we have it booked out for a week, 4 jobs a day. It was like, we're great,
I love that. I love that. By job number 2, you're like, it's about 3 o'clock right now.
Yep.
You're like, we're not gonna be able to hit them other 2,
Yeah.
But I love that you created good problems, man. These are all great problems to have. People don't think that customers will be as understanding as they are. And you probably just had to call those 2 and be like, hey, we're gonna have to push you back a little bit. This job's running a little long. Understand, cool. And then you start understanding, right, capacity
Yep.
of the equipment, of personnel, and you're like, our equipment can do this right now. And either we need to upgrade equipment,
Right.
right? Or we need to figure out better scheduling, and you could do both kind of at the same time and wait to buy your equipment or whatever. Dude, that's so cool. You're definitely an anomaly who gets started in this business, I love seeing you're in the inner circle. I love seeing guys who come through who we can tell they just kind of get it. There's, there's a good group in the inner circle who does. And there's guys who are coming into their own in that regard, but there's some who plug in like you, Ketchow, Ben Wilson, Ashley Westfall. I could keep going down the list, but they plug in and you could tell they get it. They're very implementation driven. they're like, no, no, no. I need to get some money under my belt. And I call those quick wins.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get the quick, like, dude, if you make a sale on the door to door on the first knock, bro, how jacked are you?
Oh, dude.
You're unstoppable.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We're like, all right, we went and printed out all those maps the next day and we started. I'm like, because, I was an assistant manager for the canvassing company for like 3 years. So I knew the ins and outs of it. So I just needed to come back home and replicate everything for my business. And yeah, man, once we came back with the leads, and like you said, they're very understanding. The customers are very understanding if you're just upfront with people and you just tell them what you can and can't do. And like that first customer, we were using that big pole and it was windy and we're trying to clean the house and it's just not working. And me and Pat, we were there probably 4 hours trying to do a house wash. And we end up finding out that, hey, we just had to let them know that, hey, we're going to be done for the day. It's too windy, but we're going to go back and figure it out. And we'll come back and do another, wash your whole house again for you. And then we came back, did some education, found out about the house mix. And once we found out about house mix, we came back to that customer's house super happy. Like, you're going to be so surprised when you see what we can do, and we can do it in half the time.
Dude, so you went back to the drawing board. I love it. You're moving on the run, right? You're not stopping. You're not thinking too much. You're letting the customer know. This is how you do it. Guys, if you're watching, this is literally how you do it. You don't overthink. The customers will be understanding. You're learning the business. People have grace for you. All right. If they don't, there's the anomaly of human that doesn't, right? It's like the 1%. Then just kick them out as a customer. Don't worry about that. But most people I've learned do. So Dallas, tell me, like, when did you plug into like the education side? You're in the inner circle. I'm gonna go ahead and put the inner circle banner up.
Yeah.
You're crushing in there. You got your inner circle award, your 6-figure award for making 6 figures in a year. When did you guys start plugging into the education? And answer me this, like, why did you even think you needed education? Because that's going to be a controversial topic here on the internet as well.
Yeah. So, the number one thing is, joining the inner circle changed our life, to be honest. Me and Pat, once we got in there, we've met lifelong friends. Shout out Dewey Wooten. We've met him in person now. We're going to see him again on Wednesday.
D-Dog.
Yeah. So, Todd Ketchow, Ashley Westfall, those are people that we can reach out to now. And when we have these big jobs that, we want to, hold that professional level, we want to have the education behind it. And if you guys are watching this and you're not a part of the inner circle, you need to join right now. And if you can only afford the monthly, that's fine. Pay the monthly. It just added into your cost. But, get that lifetime membership. This is a lifetime community of people that are willing to help you with anything that you can ask. We've posted in, like you said, the quick wins, the big wins weekly. We were pumped about that. When we would see that, we'd comment our biggest win. And yeah, just the education is so important because we want to provide the best level of service for our customers because, this is our full-time jobs. Me and Pat both have families. He has almost a 2-year-old. My girlfriend's pregnant right now. So we have families and we're full-time into this. So we want to make sure that what we're saying we can do, we're actually executing and making sure that the results look the same.
Sure. No, I think for me, I'll second you. Is I learned a few years ago that because I was in music for years, right? And in music, what you find out is that, like, if you ever decide to take a break from the music industry, like, no one calls. No one cares if you leave. No one cares if you die. It's just like the music industry just keeps moving, right? They find another guy who kind of looks like you or whatever, sings like you. They'll just replace you. And I learned that surrounding myself with people who care, right, and people who are in the similar industry as me, have dealt with some similar problems, whether it be whatever I'm doing, whatever industry I'm in, can really help out your morale because you start figuring out that the problems I'm having are not just isolated to me. Like,
Right.
everybody's gone through underbidding this type of job before, or dealt with some sort of weird paint on the side of a house, or some sort of coating on a certain window that you can destroy and have a big insurance claim. So, you know I think it's, a testament to you to even see that there was a need for that. Guys, I put the banner below if you want to join the inner circle, pwcourse.com. Come join Dallas, the crew, man. We got about 300 and some odd people in there. The one thing I will tell you about the inner circle is it's all for serious entrepreneurs. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're brand new and it doesn't matter if you're a veteran. The key here is it's a containered environment of positivity. Okay. Everybody's rooting each other on. There's no riffraff. You know how? Because you got to pay to be in it. It's that simple, right?
That's
Guys
what
who
we love
pay to
about
be, it's a paywall. The
it. Yep.
guys who are in the paywall, they're positive, they're jacked, they're ready to go. And that alone, I've learned is a big differentiator. The people who will pay for knowledge and pay for education, they're genuinely more positive humans, and they usually go faster, farther with bigger money, quicker. I mean, it's been amazing watching you catch out, watching Elijah Gans. He just hit 250,000. I got to get him his plaque. But
And
I
yeah,
just
you kind of hit a wall when because you can watch all, and all your guys, the core fours YouTube videos are great. All the free content that you guys put out is great. But once you get into that inner circle and you start getting the how to wash course, the how to clean a fence course, and you start being surrounded by like-minded people, that's when you can just really see it start taking off. And it's invaluable. The stuff Dewey, for us to be able to reach out to Dewey, we probably talk to Dewey once or twice a day.
That's
And
awesome.
once being able to make that friendship and that connection, it's a lifelong friend. And to go over the music industry, actually, me and Pat, we had a hip hop group back in high school,
Nice.
and Pat was like a rapper, and I was the booking agent. And our biggest show was like opening up in Bloomington, Illinois, for like 1,800 people. So
That's cool, man.
that
Yeah,
was
dude.
too.
Yeah, the music industry is as they say, it's a tough industry. I guess it's probably similar to real estate, where like as a real estate agent, in Nashville, there's another musician under every rock.
Right.
So, it's really to a testament to getting around the right people. The music industry is that if you have the right person stick their neck out for you, it will change your life. You don't even have to be the best. Okay. You just have to have the right person, the right network of people sticking their neck out for you and saying, this is the guy or this is the gal. Because there's 100 people on Broadway who can sing like Adele.
Right.
Okay. They sing amazing. So it's not talent. The separation isn't talent. It's a network, a team. And what you're talking about is Dewey. I referenced that to Dewey in the inner circle. It's like having that support system. Like if you want to know how to clean dumpster pads, how to do like Dewey's crushes commercial recurring, like plug into that dude for commercial recurring because he knows all the ins and outs of that world. And it's just cool that you guys have really tapped in and honestly become a mainstay and a staple of that group, dude. I just want to tell you thank you because you're positive, you're hustling, you're making it happen, and you're definitely like a staple of the inner circle.
Yeah, we
So
appreciate it. And honestly, it's thank you to you guys. If you guys haven't put on such an amazing community, we wouldn't be where we're at. And that's 100% the truth. All the stuff that you guys do in the inner circle, going live on Fridays, and the community that you've built, it's just unmatched. And the information, the education, just being able to reach out to people that have been where you want to be. And that's, there's people in my area, competitors and stuff I can reach out to and talk to. But, I want to talk to the people that are doing seven figures because, that's where we want to be at. We want to do the 1 million, the 5 million, the 10 million. We want to get there. We don't want to just be the local power washers of St. Louis. We want to be the Midwest staple for sure.
well, I will tell you, dude, you're on your way because doing those type of numbers that quick shows some ingenuity. It shows implementation, speed to the lead, speed to the market. One thing my boy Cody over at Southeast, I will tell you, is like his superpower is he has an ability to see through the market and on a product, right? And Cody will get that product to market. There is no question. It's like you with door knocking, dude. Cody's one of those guys like we're going. This is happening. We're taking the hill, burn the ships. you know, and that's the mentality you have to have, guys. If you're listening and you're coming from a employee world, you are going to have to make some mental shifts, because Dallas is kind of used to creating his life door to door, and he knew that if he didn't make a sale, he didn't eat. And if you apply that here, you'll win, dude. You're going to win. You get a team of canvassers, bro. I'm telling you, you're going to have to buy a shitload of equipment to keep up,
I know.
because the cool thing with canvassing is that it's not dependent on, Google shutting down your GMB. It's not dependent. You're going directly to the consumer. They get a yes or a no, and you either book money or they go to the next door. And that is very powerful.
And
It's
they're not
it's
shopping the bid. That's the
nope.
thing, is they're not looking for the other two companies to compare the bid to. They're there to get closed, right when you're at the door, which is great.
Dude, and the best part about our industry, man, is that you can see things that are dirty.
Yep.
Right? Like, you're not saying, "Hey, does your air conditioner not work?" They're like, "No, I know you can't see it, but it's cool and fine, you know?" With this, you're like, "Your house is filthy. Can we clean it for you?" It's very visual based
Yeah,
business.
and
So,
equipment is the next step for us, dude. We're still at the DeWalt power washer 4 gallon per
sheesh,
like we're at the level now where we're coming back into our second year, coming into that season, and we're about to upgrade to get the Southeast equipment, because they have the best equipment on the market. And we just had to do what we could to get by, because we aren't, we're an S corporation, so we also get paid every Friday. And if we're not having jobs on schedule and we're not paying payroll, then we don't get paid, which again, we're full time. So a paycheck is everything for us. So getting to the equipment stage is going to be a game changer for us. We were able to do, like, I think we did 135 or 140 our first year with just the
crush it.
basic intro equipment. And when we get like a Gen 2 or a skid for our trucks, it's game over. I can't wait.
There's no more rescheduling customers, right? Like,
Exactly.
no, we can do all 4 jobs today, which basically doubles your potential revenue because of speed, right? And if you're booking those jobs, if you just stay on the volume of booking that you've been doing, with the capability of not just doing 2 jobs a day, but doing 4 jobs a day, you'd potentially double your revenue just by an equipment
Yep.
purchase. And I tell Cody all the time, pressure washing equipment is so cheap in reference to the money that can be made.
Oh yeah.
A full built out custom skid, you're talking 25, maybe 30K. And you're like, guys are making that in a month. You're
Yeah.
like, I don't know a construction industry. Think about construction. You're wanting to build a building. How many, you got to have a couple $1 million worth of excavators and dumping trucks and trailers and all of this gear just to really begin to even have the capability to start. In
Right.
our world, it does allow you, like you're saying, a guy with a DeWalt pressure washer can go out and make $135,000 with some hustle and some grit and some education in a year. Dude, that's amazing. I want to commend you, man. That's a feat. Whether or not you know it, I hope you know it, because
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
awesome, bro.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. And so the reason why we haven't jumped into the equipment yet is because when we started doing Google My Business, we started ranking number 1 for window cleaners in our area. And me and Pat had never cleaned windows before. So we're like, we're gonna try. So we went to Home Depot, bought the squeegees, and like could definitely tell that's not the way to do it for us. So we end up investing in the zero tank system and the water fed pole, the destroyer, and now we can do up to over 5 stories with that. And so we're about almost paid off on that. Once that's done, we're going straight into the washing equipment, and that's allowed us to get our average ticket from between $300 and $400 for the washing. So now our average ticket is like between 700 and 1,000. So this year, yeah, we have big aspirations. We want to do over $250,000 for sure this year, just with washing
Well, I
250.
think you're gonna do it. You did like what, 65 last week?
Yeah, we did 6.8K last week.
And that's just the first week you guys can work because the snow or the ice or whatever is kind of let up. You guys are really going to start cranking. I think April's going to be freaking stupid for you guys, man.
Yeah, we have some commercial accounts ready to go for April, so I think April is going to be one of our biggest months yet for sure.
Dude, this is great, man. Hey guys, if you have any comments, questions before we go, I want to thank, Dallas for coming on today and just sharing uh, some of his knowledge for you guys. But let me look through some of the questions here. Harrison Murphy says, pay for two things as fast as possible: the stupid tax and time saving equipment.
Yep.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
actually the first thing that we did. When me and Pat sat down and decided we were going to start a business, is we decided to add into our costs, monthly cost was a bookkeeper. We got sat down with the CPA our first month in business, and we pay him $250 a month. And he has kept everything in line for us. Amazing. And when it came around tax time, we didn't owe any taxes. So it was great. He's good. CPA is, worth its money and weight for sure.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, like, the peace of mind, right? You cannot replace. I have a bookkeeper accountant team, and they're like, "Well, do you want to do the books and us handle just the filing and account?" I'm like, "No, hell no." I said, "I'm gonna pay y'all extra to do them books, and
Yep.
then you can send them to me. I'll look at it, see if anything's wrong with it, and
Yep.
then I'll send them back and say, go and do the next step, and I will happily write you a check, just because my brain does not work on an Excel spreadsheet, bro. It does not operate like that. So you're a smart man implementing the bookkeeping and accounting quickly, because you never got behind. That first year I didn't have accounting, dude. I didn't I didn't know where to find one. I didn't know. I was scrambling, right? And the next year I got an accountant, and they told me I owed like 8 grand in back taxes
Yep.
for my first year. And I owed that year's amount. So they hit me with two big amounts, bro. I was poor again for about
Yep.
for about a month.
That's tough when you're starting out. He had some. I think our taxes came out to like right at 2K, but we had some different options with being in an S corporations where we could lower it. So he definitely took some legal routes to get us to where we didn't really owe any taxes this year. And yeah, we met a few in our area. We called 3 of them. We liked this guy right off the jump. We call him Godfather Mitch, and we gave him the nickname our first meeting. And he ended up coming to our networking group. And now he was like a little in his shell, and now he's like sprung out, and he's talking to everyone. He's at the networking group early. He's super cool guy, and networking is your net worth, and that's where we've learned or found a lot of our commercial accounts. And again, being around like-minded people was huge for us. We do that every Thursday, 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning. And when you're starting out, that's a time slot. That's a job slot, and to take that out of your time, it's hard to do. But we saw early on that how valuable it was and how important it was to make sure we showed up to those meetings.
Bro, you're making all the right moves. I'm gonna tell you, you're a sharp guy. You got a sharp team, a great friendship. It seems like a good working friendship. Before we go, I want you to kind of explain the dynamic between you and your partner. What do you handle? What does he handle? If guys are out there and they're thinking about having a partner, how do y'all juggle that ego, that thing? Who does what?
Yeah, so it's definitely been a learning process for both of us, because we're both, headstrong and we like to make the decisions. But, just being, open minded. We're starting a business, and not everything comes smoothly, and you have to choose your heart, and us grinding it out together. In the beginning, it was me handling almost all the social media, all the back end stuff, getting the website built up, while he was, doing, the operations, getting the machines, making sure they're cranking up right. Because again, like I told you before, before I started, I couldn't even pick out a power washer in the lineup. I didn't even know what it looked like, because I've been in sales for 10 years. So I always hired people to do it. And, me and Pat, we definitely have had some moments where we butted heads, but, we learned through it, and we've got to where we're at now. And, when I'm having my baby come August, we're going to be hiring someone on to take my spot for the month that I'm going to be staying at home. And my goal is really going to be just selling, getting jobs booked onto the schedule nonstop. And that's my specialty. So as soon as he lets me be able to do that full time, and it's game over for sure.
Bro, that's so good to have a working relationship where everybody knows where they shine and they respect each other on what they're good at, right? Like, he doesn't expect you to become something that you're not, and you don't expect him to become something that he's not. And y'all let your superpower shine. That's the key, I think, if you're gonna have a working partnership. Um, Having two guys who are computer nerds take on something that's like this is going to be tough, right? If you have one who's kind of nerdy, who's a computer guy, you let him handle that, and someone else goes and handles the ops, right? So it's cool to have two superpowers where they're supposed to be, and allowing it to shine. Dallas, dude, I want to thank you for coming on the channel, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. Over 135K. I need to up that number on the title. 135K is first year in
Yes,
pressure
sir.
washing. Does year 2 hit different, Alice?
Yeah, year 2 is hitting different, and we can't wait to crush it this year, man.
I love it, dude. All right, brother. I want to thank you for coming on. And guys, if you want to be a part of the inner circle, I recommend you join. We got some inner circle guys in here right now. Dallas is one, Dewey's one. Go ahead and join. Year 2 hits different. Got some flame emojis down here. Go to pwcourse.com. We'd love to have you. If you're a serious guy, you're a positive guy, and you want to win in this industry, we could definitely show you how to do it. Dallas, one last word before you leave. Leave them with something. If you got a word of the day, I'm gonna steal from Justin. What's the word of the day?
Word of the day, that's Lean and Mean Academy, baby. Lean and
Shee,
Mean,
lean and
lean and
mean.
mean.
Good. Let's go. I'll see you guys in the next video.